Well, a very good day, YouTubers, and yes, it's finally come round to that time for Aslan to be lifted out of the canal. I'm currently opposite Bridge House Marina, where I'm being lifted out this time, and I was spending 2 weeks on the hard standing. Not only does a hull need blacking, I also need to address the rust on the roof and the green on the gunwales and the front and rear decks, and no doubt a few other bits as well. It's 7:30 and Aslan is the first lift of the day. I'm just hanging around and waiting for the call from the staff to go into Bridge House Marina. It's nearly 9:30. I've just been to the office and they'll be here shortly. Due to the fact there's a lot of, all the boats moored here are GRP cruisers, and this is an 18-ton steel canal boat. I can't take the boat in myself. It has to be piloted in by two guys, one on the front with a barge pole to steer the front, and then a guy at the back on the tiller. It's probably best if I don't film it. It wouldn't be fair on them because the guys never used a narrowboat with a separate throttle and gears. So next time I see you, I'll probably more than likely the boat will be about to be lifted out. Well, that went well without a hitch. Just draining the water tank so that the boat's a bit lighter. I mean, Aslan weighs 18 tons. I'm not sure what the crane's rated at. I imagine it must be at least 30. So she's going to sit here for a while, and then a bit later she'll be lifted out and taken to the power washing area. Hopefully then the first coat of blacking will go on. A much smaller crane than the one at Garstang Marina, and I can just see it's rated at 20 tons. Initial impression is the hull's looking very good, and she's now off for a pressure wash. Quick check of the prop. And into the wash bay. The usual algae and weed. It looks like a lot of the blacking from 2022 at Garstang Marina is still in place. Anodes are still fine. They were put on in 2017 when I bought Aslan. Oh, I needed that. It's not even decaf. Got a full strength. Yeah, it's always a bit of a worry. You just lots of things, processes to do to getting the boat lifted out. But it's done now, and I can finally breathe again. So yeah, just waiting for the power washing, and yeah, hopefully today get the first coat of blacking on. I'm not doing it. The one job I absolutely refuse to do is blacking. It's such a disgusting job, yeah, so I'd rather pay someone else to do it, to be perfectly frank. Looking incredibly good. That's it then, all power washed. They're now going to move Aslan out of the wash bay and into my little space, where she'll now spend 2 weeks, if all goes according to plan. If not, there's room for an extra week. A guy just walked by, took one look at her and just said, she needs doing. Oh, great, thanks for that. But there she is, and where she'll be staying for the next 2 weeks, possibly 3. Well, while I'm waiting for the blacking to start, let's have a look at what jobs I'm facing over the next 2 weeks. Firstly, of course, is the roof. The paintwork, which is red oxide primer, isn't actually that bad. Most of it is sound or peeling. There are areas, such as here, where it's rusting, so maybe a little scrape and then the wire brush in the angle grinder and whip through that. There's quite a few areas like that. Along the edges, it's more peeling than anything. It's sound, not rusting, just peeling. The midsection of the roof has always been a bit of a problem. I don't know if it's to do with the heat of the engine or what, but no matter what I do to this, I've scraped and rust treated areas before on it, and then it comes through in another area. So this time I'm going to go the whole hog. I'm going to really attack it with the wire brush head in the angle grinder. Next up will be the green paint. That includes the pigeon box. I'm going to paint that green. Then there's the green on the edge. Once again, not rusting, but peeling. Hatches as well. Some of the edges are breaking through. Then there's the front and rear decks, same as the roof, but these will be simpler. Just attack that with the wire brush, rust treat, prime, undercoat, top coat. The paints I'll be using for the roof are Craftmaster. Not cheap, but proper boat enamel. The green on the gunwales is fairly sound. There's a couple of areas where it's bubbled through. The paint that's on there currently is Hammerite Smooth Dark Green. So that's the paint I'll be using again. Also, I'll be redoing the cream on the back. Something which I've never done and is always pointed out every time I paint the boat. So for that I have some Hammerite Smooth Cream. Well, yes indeed, a lot of jobs to do. Looks worse than it is. The biggest thing is going to be the preparation, which will be made a whole lot easier by using a wire brush head in an angle grinder. Should last through everything. And then, once I've got the protective coat of primer on, it's just going to be a case of applying various coats of paint. There's going to be 2 coats of primer on the roof, 2 coats of undercoat, and 2 coats of top coat. And then the green, which is 2 coats. And blacking, which is being done by Brazel Narrowboats here. They're going to be looking after that, so I haven't got to worry about that. And a lot of work, but it should be fun, and she'll be shining like a new pin at the end of it. Well, that wire brush in the angle grinder certainly makes a difference. I used to strip this with a paint scraper and a hand wire brush, nowhere near as good a job. So I've done approximately a quarter of the roof. Wow, I've been at it now for probably 4 hours, and I've done the one side of the roof. That wire brush in the grinder is superb. You can feather it and get right down to the bare metal through the rust if you want. But it's a mess. I tell you, it's all fine powder, paint powder, and it goes over everywhere. And got it all down me. My overalls are a right stinking mess. But I'm going to stop for half an hour, have a cup of coffee, and then I'll do the other side. It's about 1:30, so by about 5:30 tonight I should have the other side done. Well, a very good morning. I was working till about 6:30 last night, wire brushing the roof. The amount of dust that came off, unbelievable. But the whole roof is now wire brushed down. All the rust I've attacked. So I now need to go and rust treat every single bare patch of metal, and then in a couple of hours I'll be able to put the first coat of primer on. Right, so I'm going to put this rust treater on the bare metal. It's Hammerite Q Rust. I've used it before. It's water based. The brush washes out in water, and it's very good. Dries very quickly, and any rust will turn black. Okay, so I've been all around the edge of everything with the brush, and it's now time to roller the rest of it. The primer is grey, but the undercoat and the top coat will be a raddle red, which looks like red oxide primer, but it's actually a gloss enamel. Well, I've finished the roof, but I only had just enough to finish the roof, so I've got nothing to paint the front decks with. So I'm going to try a place locally at Glass and Dock. There's a Chandler's there, and I'm told that they do Craftmaster paint, so they might have the primer. If not, I've got some ordinary red oxide primer, and I'm going to be putting an undercoat and top coat on top of it anyway, and it's only the front and rear decks, so yeah, we'll see. But that's a lot of stuff done in the last, what, 2 days? I came out the water one person, my life a particular way. I wasn't looking for anything, just on a whim I popped out on the Friday, and everything changed.